Alright, people, so I want to touch on a little bit about what Ryback said about wrestlers getting equal pay. I think it's a complete, absurd, retarded statement to say that wrestlers should all be making the same amount of money. I mean, how dumb is that? I mean, everybody knows that in a company, there are people who are going to make less money because they're not as high up, and then the higher ups are going to make more money because they could do more shit, and a job requires more talent, or they're better at it. In terms of wrestling, you have jobbers. Let me just get something straight. If WWE was run right and they actually had the more talented people on the top of the company and the less talented people on the on the bottom, the more talented people should be paid should be paid more. The less talented people should be paid less. But unfortunately, you have talentless retards like Roman Reigns as your champion. But that's kind of besides the point I'm making. In a company, the more talented people, in theory, the people in WWE who should be main eventing should be making more money because they are better, they're more talented, they're in a higher spot, they're doing more. They should be being paid more. And the people who are jobbers or in the mid card are not doing as much. They're in a lower role. They're in theory less talented because they're in a lower role, should be making less money. If fucking, let's say we have, in my world, if I was in charge, let's say we have Kevin Owens as champion, and we just, in theory, Kevin Owens faces, a mid-carder. Let's say Kevin Owens defeats Sheamus, who I don't know, just in theory. And let's say Sheamus is a jobber. Or, Kevin Owens defeats Yoshitatsu. Are you telling me Yoshitatsu, who's a jobber, should be making as much as Kevin Owens for that match, who's a champion? I mean, it's a complete absurd statement to make, I think. I mean, in fucking MLB, in NFL, in NHL, in any of the main sports, any sport, the people who are better at it, your Miguel Cabreras, your Mike Trouts, your Tom Brady's, are going to make more than your Kwame Browns and people like that. The people who fucking suck. So I think it's absurd to say, winners and losers, everybody should make the same. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it's not like, the jobbers are not making any money. I mean, if you look at some of these guys' salaries, they're making tons of money. I mean, it's not like they're making millions of dollars, but their salaries are. I mean, I looked up Ryback's salary and it said it was like $600,000. I mean, he's not hurting people. So even if you're a jobber in this company, you're still bringing in a good amount of money. And like I pointed out in my WWE Releases 8 People video, they were paying people like El Torito, like Hornswoggle. They were paying those people to do nothing. They weren't doing anything. So they should have been released a long time ago. So it's a stupid argument to bring up. It doesn't make any sense. Because like I said, anybody knows that in a company, the people who are more talented, the people who do more, make more. You can't tell me that a jobber, who goes out there and fucking jobs to your champion or jobs to a main eventer should be bringing home the same amount of money as that champion. It's just a totally illogical statement. And like I said, WWE pays their wrestlers pretty damn good money. I mean, if you look at the payments, the amount of pay that they get. So, I don't think Ryback really should be complaining about salary in this company when he's bringing home a lot of money, when, people who are jobbers are still bringing home a lot of money. So it's very dumb to say that, I think, and I don't get where he's coming from there. And it's just dumb. I don't get it at all. I don't get that point whatsoever. So apparently Ryback has some contract dispute or whatever. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So he's gonna be gone. I don't know. You know, WWE should just get rid of him. I mean, there's no point in having him on their roster. I mean, they were so high on this guy at one point. It just shows you how disorganized this company is. I mean, Ryback was, what was it, like 3 years ago, was in a match with Cena for the WWE title. He was wrestling with Punk for the title. He was in WWE Championship matches back in, like, I think 2012 to the beginning of 2013. He was in championship matches for the WWE title. And now, you know, you figure that he's a pretty, you know, new talent. Okay, so you put him in championship matches. In theory, he should be in main eventing right now. But no, he's fucking a jobber. It just shows you how, you know, the same thing happened with The Miz. And I'm not saying these people deserve to be main eventers, but going by WWE's thought, you know, I'm trying to think, you know, in terms of WWE here. You know, if they put a guy in the main event, like The Miz at WrestleMania, and then you flash forward fucking, 5 years later, and he's a jobber? It's like, it just doesn't make any sense. It just shows you how disorganized this company is. And, you know, the same thing with Ryback. Just, I don't know. It's just, they fucked up when they pretty much put him on the roster. All he is a big you know, Vince McMahon, like I said, has some fetish for big guys, so, you know, probably one of the top reasons they hired him is because he's strong and muscular, so that you know, that means he's this great talent or whatever. And time again, he's shown that he fucking sucks. He's garbage. And he should not be in this company. Just because he's a big guy, just because he's got a good look, guys, does not mean he's a good wrestler. Does not mean he's a good talent. He doesn't even do that many power moves. I mean, he has a move where, you know, he's got the guy laying on his back on the mat, and he picks him up like a foot off the air and slams him down to the ground. It's a fucking dumbass move, but, you know, Ryback's garbage. You know, I even see he was doing CM Punk's running knee. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what is he doing? I don't know, people, but he should not be with this company. And his argument about WWE wrestlers getting equal pay is retarded as fuck. So there you go, people.